And so I said, I can't drive. What? I'm blind. Hi everyone, welcome back to episode 23 of the Slalt Cast, hosted by Lord Daniel.
I'm a lord, please use my title.
Joined with him, his co-hosts, myself, Kobe, and the illustrious Caden.
Hey, what's going on?
And we have no special guests.
No, Kobe,
hold on. You didn't let me finish. You didn't let me finish. You didn't let me finish. You didn't let me finish the bet. You didn't let me have you. You didn't let me finish the bit.
Kobe, there are special guests.
No. Shh. Let me finish.
Let him have this. Let him have this.
Fine.
We have no special guests. We have ultra special guests. The two members of heavy
Kobe,
rock
you
duo.
really had me going there. I thought you were saying we had no special guests.
No. Why did you think? Is that? Why would I say that? Joining us is We All Drive.
Yeah.
Consisting of
Hello.
Joel and Tom.
Joel and Thomas.
I am Joel.
I am Thomas. How's it
Howdy.
going?
T-Mass.
So,
T-Mass.
My girlfriend asked me to ask you guys where'd the name Wheel Drive come from, just to start with.
That's a fucking love story right there.
I don't know.
Well, you're the one that came up with it. You need to know.
Okay,
You're
so
the one that came up with it. You have to have meaning behind it or something like.
Alright. Well, so imaginary time. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far, far away, before Tom joined the band. This is the origin story of Wheel Drive, by the way. Yeah,
Origins.
illustrious.
Sit down and buckle up.
So we would like deciding names. The first drummer, who's Liam, who is, can I just say, an absolute kick-ass drummer.
Oh, I thought something else was going to be said there. I'm sorry.
No, I love Liam.
Watch
He's a
your
fucking
words
weapon.
wisely, boy.
Me and him were discussing names while we were having a swim in the pool because it was at the time it was summer.
That's
in
hot.
the good old year of 2018.
Get it? Because his girlfriend's Summer.
Was it two bros chilling in a hot tub 5 feet apart because they're not gay?
Anyway, so
He did it tonight.
we were just tossing up names and we just came up with Wheel Drive.
Is there
Nothing
like a
special,
reason
but-
for it?
No, we're just throwing shit around. It's like, one of those websites where you generate random names. That was pretty much
Wu-Tang.
us in real life.
Wu-Tang name generator. Joel Sims
That's it.
translates to Wheel Drive.
Joel Sims, name
Now,
generator. Wheel
I feel like
Drive.
the $1 million question is, at the time, did you both drive? Is the name accurate?
We did. Yeah.
See, there you go.
All right.
There we go.
Everything has meaning.
We're ready.
Yep.
So
It's all
I
come
guess
to
the
fruition.
next logical question here is, how the fuck do we know you guys?
Oh, what a story. We have this wonderful man.
So we're gonna go back further than 2018, I think, Tom.
Yeah, that's
Back
way
to-
back. Like,
Yeah,
I have no idea.
way back before all this shit started. So we pretty much met Caden when he came to our high school in, was it 2016 or
2016 or
2015?
17, wasn't it?
Caden defected in 2015.
I was
abandoned
born.
us.
2015.
I was born and recreated.
Caden just appeared. Like, he just spawned.
Yeah, he literally spawned in the
hanging-
music room at school. He was playing guitar. I was like, I don't know who you are. I don't know what the fuck you're doing here, but I like you already.
Nice. Nice. I can already see
Yeah.
this getting gay.
Oh,
But
Oh, it got
wait,
much more
hold
gay
on a
than
minute.
that.
But it happened.
it happened.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
No, yeah.
Joel was walking by music room. A ray of light struck in there. Caden
was
was
blinded.
doing mad David Gilmour solo. and Joel was like, oi, mad tone. And was just like, this tone. Play this guy. And then
This
for
man's.
So then how does that go on? How do you go from there to where we are now?
Oh, we met your friends when we went to Sydney.
no.
Yeah, that pretty much
How
nails it.
did
So
you-
that was...
Okay, so we met Caden. He was an absolute mad lad. We all came.
You don't have to
friends-
lie. I know he's in
Ah,
here, but you can...
he's a mad lad. And then,
Okay,
like,
Ken's an absolute.
Yeah, can't say that.
Oh.
Can't say that.
No, we met Caden at high school, and then we pretty much just jammed until we graduated, essentially, because we all wanted to be in a band, obviously.
Talk about villains, Joel. Remember that?
Yeah, villains. The original project, the OG.
Was that the
We
band
all-
that did Everlong?
That was
kind of.
that was villains minus Thomas.
Okay.
Yeah, we had an extra drummer that time. This was all before we knew or like what the fuck we were doing in terms of music.
I think what was the first song that we all did together was it was Neighbor Neighbor, wasn't it? At the
it was
school
Neighbor Neighbor
talent
by
show.
Violent Soho.
That was the proper one where we were all playing in the same band.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then we did like 2 other separate ones with Caden where you and I were both doing drums. We swapped out. They were both highly suspect songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And
Villains
then-
was pretty much the side project, the one we were trying to get started, but really couldn't really get it going. I don't know what happened.
Just
No
different
idea.
opinions, different tastes in music. We all had different ideas, and it was we came up with the idea that it was probably smarter for us to work in our own regards than butt heads and work together.
Yeah.
And then
Creatively, we are different people, but in terms of like musicianship and our goal, it's very much the same.
Yeah.
We are the GOAT.
And then you skip forward a couple of years after like getting band started, Liam, all that we all drive, Liam leaves, Tom joins, and then we're gigging throughout the
That's
years
one way to
of
put it.
2018, 19, and then Caden told us about Brandon and all that, and then
Oh yeah.
we were
Shout out
organizing
to Radicals
Radicals. Yes.
and Christina Applegate.
Christina.
Ash-
Christina
Shout out to
Applegate.
Christina Applegate.
I think it's weird because I do the podcast with my window open every Monday around this time.
He
My
screams
neighbors
out
just hear
Christina
somebody
Applegate.
go woo Christina Applegate and clapping. One person clapping.
Yeah, Caden told us about Brandon, then the opportunity arose of like, oh, actually, the first time I think we met most of you Sydney boys was at the Year 12 formal.
That was just Dugan.
Was that just Dugan?
That's Dugan and Cameron.
Dugan and
Dugan and
Cameron
Cameron.
came up for Year 12 formal.
Essentially, yeah, those two boys came up and trashed our formal, which was great.
It was great.
It was fucking great.
That was like,
So give a bit more of a story. It's a funny story. They fucking bought suits and they're just in the photos of your formal.
Well, all right, I'll give the kind of rundown. It was basically I didn't have much of a plan set up for my Year 12 formal because I was a socially awkward little boy and I didn't like to interact with people. So I was like, I got
Freshman.
mates that are coming up. Let's go hang with them for formal. So my two mates, Cameron and Dugan, which I'm sure we are all aware of.
Have both Dugan was on the last episode of the podcast. Cameron a couple more before that.
They came up and we rocked up to my formal with all the entrance and all in the old classic Subaru Forester.
oh,
It was great. We pulled up right behind a nice stretch Hummer and then we're in front of a... No, we pulled up behind a stretch Hummer and then behind us was a Ferrari. So we fit right in. And then the boys jumped out, rolled out a shitty little red carpet that we bought from fucking Crafts and Things.
nice.
And yeah, and then eventually those boys parked the car and just slotted their way in somehow, blended into the crowd, and then they were a part of the Year 12 formal photo, and they were officially a class of 20 fucking
It was
15.
it was perfect. They just came and they saw, they appeared, and then just like got into the photo, didn't say a word to like anyone, and they just made it into the class of whatever
Was it
we
26?
were.
2017.
2017.
2017.
Christ.
Yeah,
Class
it was so
2017.
good.
Well, out of
Hey.
all the boys down here, those two exude the most Kingscliff energy.
Ah.
The most
sounds like a
Kingscliff
dig.
energy.
And it is. Continue.
Oh mate. So I think that was our first encounter with like you Sydney boys, and then yeah, we met Brandon, like or heard about Brandon, and then the opportunity arose to like go down to Sydney after like what 2 or 1.5 years with. Well, I was in the band for like what 1 year before that. Not even
Yeah, you're
that.
pretty much...
I was still
You
fresh.
joined WAD in March 2019,
Yeah.
and we
so
went
it's fresh.
down the first time to Sydney in was it November or December
It
2019?
was November.
It was
November.
November.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we went down
and
there.
then
We pretty much met everyone.
we were in a group chat as well. Like, I remember like we were in the group chat for Brass Monkey, and then I remember like just kind of meeting the fellas in the group chat, and I was like, "Oi, these guys are sick." And I say it's okay all
Fucking
the
whizzing.
time. I'm like, "Oh, I fucking love the Sydney boys," and I remember when we go down, I was like, "Man, I'm just so excited to see everyone." Like, we've been chatting on the group chat for so long, and I was just so keen. And then the day came when we were all at Brass Monkey. We met the man Kobe. We met Brandon in person. And Beaumont, Dugan were there, and I forgot everyone because
You got
the
Dylan and Dan.
night got a little bit
Got a bit hazy.
and clip.
Well, that's we were talking about that on stream today. So for
Footage
those of you who
not
don't know,
found.
we stream on
footage
twitch.tv
is
slash
lost.
Slalt. But yeah, no, we were talking about it on stream. Like, so we did all meet each other on that night, but I feel like up until recently, I didn't really have a context for all who you blokes were. So I was like, oh, Wheel Drive, they're pretty fucking sick.
I didn't even
Now
have a
afterwards-
context for who I was.
Yeah, nah, I drove home that night. I was.
Oh,
We fixed the car that night.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
I'll tell that story.
the classic.
The infamous
comedy.
Sydney story.
That's a great.
Do you want the
story.
whole
I think
story
we-
or just that night?
Caden, we have time. Tell the whole story.
I think we need the
Alright.
entirety of the Sydney timeline.
Let's
Well,
talk about Sydney.
For us, what happened was we'd planned to drive down because we organised the show in Newcastle a couple days after Brass Monkey. No, it was the day after Brass Monkey. The next day we organised the show in Newcastle. So we're like, all right, cool. We'll drive down. We'll go straight to Sydney. We'll stay in Sydney. We got one show on the Wednesday. We had the Thursday off. We had a show on the Friday, and then we had a show on the Saturday. That was the plan. Let's just say the plan didn't go well. And it died on day one. So I ended up taking my Holden Commodore, which I'd had for probably about a year and a half before we drove down. And everything was sweet. The car was fine. There was no issues with it. I made sure it was good to go. I made sure it was ready to travel. I made sure everything was okay. I was like, all right, I'm going to take this car all the way down to Sydney and all the way back. So it needs to be able to make the distance. I got it checked. I got it serviced. It was sweet. We started driving. We left really early in the morning. No worries. Fucking sick. We made it to the first stop in plenty of time. It was a great little road trip. We took 2 cars down, and then we dropped one off in Port Macquarie because Logan, my mate, has family in Port Macquarie. We left Port Macquarie. Everything was sweet. As soon as we hit Sydney, shit hit the fan. All the alarm bells went off. We went from 0 to 100 in a matter of 10 minutes, and it was great. We'd started to encounter a bit of traffic in Sydney, which is very fucking common. No matter what time, no matter where you are, you're gonna hit traffic.
Always traffic here.
I was like, all right, cool, just sitting through some traffic. We're almost at the B&B. We're literally 5 minutes away. We just got to pull off this highway, turn a right, and we're there. As we're sitting in traffic, my car starts to act up. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Nothing makes sense. It starts to stutter a bit, and the car starts to slow down as I'm driving. And I'm like, what is going on? Like this, what the fuck is happening? I notice that my car temperature is overheating, like a lot. I'm like, oh fuck, like this is full on. Like, why the fuck is my car overheating? I was like, oh well, we probably drove a lot. I probably should pull over to the side and let it cool down. But made the smart decision to be like, okay, there's a little dip in the road where the, like, you know, there's service, like, on the highways, there's always those little coves.
Oh yeah, like the
Yeah,
truck bay kind of thing.
service phones. Yeah.
Service phones. So we found one of those, luckily, right as the car started to die. I was like, let me just roll the car into there. Let's just check the car, make sure it's okay, and just let it cool down. And we'll get back on the highway when the traffic clears up a bit, and we'll go. We let the car cool down. I put a little coolant in it that I had in the back of the car. We were sweet. We were ready to go. Got back
Fate
onto the
cracks his
highway.
neck.
Started to go again. As soon as we got off the highway, we stopped at some lights. Bam, round 2. Car shit itself again. it's overheated to the point where the engine won't even turn on anymore. And we're stuck
Oh no.
at the lights with no way of being able to get out of here. So now the car's fucked, can't drive at all, and we're in the middle of a busy motorway. Logan and I made the smart decision to just roll the car off to the left near the sidewalk where there was a left turn at the lights. Pulled it off to the side. From that point on, we were like, what the fuck is going on? Like, we don't know why this car's fucking up. We don't know how we're going to get home. We don't know how we're going to get anywhere around Sydney that we had planned. What the fuck do we do? We were just like, fuck it. Let's just call a tow. Let's chill out for an hour at the Airbnb. Let's catch an Uber to the next venue. And let's just play the show and not worry about it till tomorrow. So we went on. We managed to get it towed. Went to the Airbnb. All was well. People were stressing. We filled everyone in on the details. Friends, family, like, we're fucked. We're stuck in Sydney. We've got no car. We then went and played the show at Frankie's Pizza. And it was great. Everyone got drunk as a skunk because everyone was stressed.
Talk about drunk with Loz, mate, at Frankie's Pizza. What's that little side story there?
Lawrence, who I'm sure you're aware of, our mate, fucking meme lord.
Love him. Number one contributor to the podcast.
He used to live up here with us, and then he moved down to Sydney with Tom's brother, and they've been there ever since. And then it was the first time we'd seen him since they'd moved, and we're like, oh, like a nice little reunion, happy to see you again, blah, blah, blah. We caught up. We all got really drunk really quick because of that. Because we were like, oh, we'll buy you a beer, and he's like, oh, we'll get you a beer, blah, blah, blah.
Are they at
So
Frankie's?
Yeah, they were at Frankie's.
Ooh. I don't remember that.
So,
Inbox?
like, cheeky little side story, basically, there was this big bucket of, like, water that this air conditioner was dripping into.
Oh, no.
Ugh.
It was just collecting all this moisture from the AC into this bucket. And Zane...
How much did you give him again to drink it?
I think Zane bet him $50, $20 to just drink it. Just take a sip. Take a cheeky little sip.
He got a
Alright?
shot, didn't he?
And he took a shot of the dirty AC water, and it was fucking hilarious.
Just for a beer. The disparity of this man. He was so thirsty.
I just want a drip of the surf.
He's like,
Anyway, that night went on, we got really drunk, and it was great, and we had a lot of fun, and we stopped stressing about the car that night because we were like, fuck it, let's not ruin a good night, and let's just have some fun. Come Thursday, Logan and I decide to call a mechanic to come check the car out to see what the fuck the problem is. The biggest thing was the fans that are used to cool down the engine weren't coming on at all. One was turning on, and one wasn't. So I had one working fan, which wasn't enough. So I was like, okay, that's a big problem because if you stop, the car's going to overheat. But if you're driving on a highway, you've got air coming in. So that the car's not really getting hot enough to the point where it needs it. So that's why we overheated when we sat in traffic, because the thing needed the fan and the fan wasn't turning on, so it just kept overheating. So then the biggest issue too was the fact that the sensory gauge underneath the engine wasn't actually telling the fans to turn on.
Ah.
So we were like, well, that's going to take nearly an entire day and fucking $500 worth of damage, if not more, because they had to pull the engine out of the car to be able to get to it. So we were like, oh, well, what are the chances of it getting fixed if we got a new part? He's like, look, it's more than likely going to fix it if you got the part in, because you could have a whole new circuitry system go through and be able to connect to what could be already a functioning one. We didn't know if the sensory gauge was completely shoddy or not, because it was turning one fan on and not both. So we figured we got a new part, we'd fix the fan, Bob's your fucking uncle, and we're ready to go. Friday morning came, and I still had my tattoo appointment booked in, and I was like, I'm just going to go to it, because if we get this part in and you guys fix it while I'm at the tattoo appointment, we're sweet. We got no issues. We figured this would fix the car. So I've gone out to go get my tattoo appointment, and Logan has gone out to go catch up with Emily's family. Zane was by himself at the B&B waiting for my pop to come pick up the part and help put it in the car. This is the first time that Zane had ever met my pop, let alone neither of them have any experience fixing a car. Already there's some red flags.
I was going to say, sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Already there's some red flags. So
man.
I'm getting my tattoo done, Logan's not home, and they're fixing the car. All of a sudden to get a phone call from Zane to be like, yeah, the part didn't fix anything. I was like, well, what do you mean? Like, what happened? He's like, well, we put the fan in and your pop hooked it up and it seemed to be all working, but now none of the fans turn on.
Oh, fuck.
And we're like, we've made a bad situation worse by trying to fix it. And he's like, yeah, we put it in and everything seemed fine. And he called a mechanic and checked it out and it just didn't work. So I was like, fuck, okay, let's just forget about the car because we have literally 3 hours between now, like from that phone call, finding out it's fucked still, even worse, to the gig that we had to go play at Brass Monkey, which was the big gig of the whole time we're there. So we figured, fuck it, we'll fix it when we get back from
Brass Monkey.
We'll fix it when we get back from Brass Monkey and we'll work it out because I'm sure we can make the part work. It could just be it's wired together wrong. We were confident that we could make it work. So
You love to see the confidence.
we were confident. We were cocky. So we went and played the show. It was an amazing night. Everyone met each other. Everyone got sweaty, took their shirts off. It was a lot of fun. And end frame.
Lost footage.
There was a lot. Everyone got really drunk, and everyone had a wholesome experience. I had my friends meet my other friends. It was a really nice, wholesome moment for me.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was wholesome. I think
it was wholesome for me because I had a lot of people that I really cared about all got along really well.
Oh, that's so cute.
This is so cute.
What a cutie.
Damn. Have a look how much he cares for us.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Fucking way.
Okay, fuck you too, bitch.
The night ended. Everyone was really drunk. Everyone was really tired, and we had to get people out of there. All right. So we were all pretty drunk, but we managed to kind of handle it. So everyone got into Ubers. Everyone went home. We managed to get back to the Airbnb, and Logan and I decided, let's go down and let's suss this car out now. Keep in mind that this is 2 a.m. in the morning, and we need to leave for Newcastle by about 10 o'clock, because that's usually the time you got to leave an Airbnb. So we'd finally gotten back. We'd gone and sussed the car out. We'd done some tests. We'd turned the car on, tried to get the fan working. The fan wasn't working. We'd hooked up the car to the fan multiple different ways, and it wasn't working. We were just like, what the fuck is going on? We've made this problem a bigger problem somehow. And Logan, the mechanic that he is, comes up with probably the only way we could have possibly made this work. The man, the myth, the legend, basically said to me, he's like, if you get me a kettle cord, which for people who don't know is like an IEC cable, like the ones you plug into your kettle. You get me one of those, you get me some scissors, and I can fix your car. Get me some electrical tape. Get me some electrical tape, and I'll fucking MacGyver this shit. So, next thing you know, you've got two drunk idiots cutting wires into a car.
Oh my god.
Trying to fix this shit. Anything could go wrong at this point, but we've managed to pull it through to some degree. What he's managed to do is hardwire the fans to the battery with some electrical tape. So he's hooked it up with the IEC cables, opened them up to the bare wires, the copper wiring.
That's so fucking dangerous.
He's attached it to the fans and then hardwired it straight to the battery.
Bruh.
He said to me,
holy shit.
He's basically like, look, I can turn your fans on or I could blow your car up. Either way, we're still fucked. So there's really nowhere this is getting worse.
Look, like I can turn your fan on and get us home, or just explode your car. You choose.
I trusted this man with my life. I said, if you get us home, I'm buying you a bass. And that man got us home. What he
Did you buy him a bass?
I've chipped in to buy him a bass. He bought himself a bass, and I helped out.
Well, all right, Caden. You spent almost 15 minutes telling us the entire story of a car. It was thrilling, don't get me wrong.
I was gonna say, I really enjoyed it.
Right? But 15 minutes. You condense every other story that we tell on this podcast to be like 2 seconds long, and this one was 15
But
minutes.
see, Kobe, I don't get what you're getting at here because that was a fucking gripping story. Why are you,
I
why are you
think-
discouraging this
It
behavior?
had
I still
wholesomeness.
think-
It
I
had
think it could have.
sadness.
I think it could
Man
have.
just
I
wrote
think
a
it
whole
could have been much
fucking
shorter.
Dictionary
Bruh.
right now.
You could have made a documentary off that shit.
It's happening. Next year we're making a documentary of this stuff.
We'll pitch it to Netflix.
Pitch
There's
it.
all jokes aside, there are that many videos and photos of how we fixed the car, and you look at it and you're like, how the fuck did this work?
Can you send me a couple of those so I'll post them on the Instagram, at Slalt Cast on Instagram, when this episode
I'll
goes live?
I'll send them. They're on our page, but I'll send them to you. Because it literally is MacGyver. He pulled the power cable off of my fucking guitar amp and hardwired it to the car battery, so the fact that the fan was just always on. So if you wanted to turn the fan off, you had to rip the cables off the battery.
Jesus Christ.
So we used electrical tape to tape it down and hold it on. And it fucking worked. We got to Newcastle. We had an amazing show at Newcastle. Everyone was stress-free. We loved life. We had a great night. And then we got home without a fucking
There
worry.
you go. We all got home in the end.
Yes, and you know
We
how you
all
got home.
drived home.
You all drived home. Thank you.
Yes,
Tom, I'm
arrived.
so sorry.
Tom and I flew.
We all driven home.
Joel, shh. Just
We all fly.
Keep it.
let it play.
Can I add an extra 2 minutes to that 15-minute story?
I don't know, Kobe, is that okay with you? You're going to flip your shit again.
Well, this is our ultra special guest. He's allowed.
It's only 2 minutes. So, Caden, when did you eat the garlic bread?
Oh, the garlic bread.
Well, what had happened was I had gone and gotten my tattoo and I hadn't had breakfast. The tattoo session was about 4 hours, so I never really got a chance to eat lunch. And then by the time I finished, we had 2 hours to get to the venue. So I was like, I haven't eaten anything. I feel like shit after sitting through and having adrenaline pumped through my system and now dumped out. I've got nothing in my system. I need something to eat. My saving grace was about 3-day-old garlic bread that we'd ordered the night before we left for Sydney. That was sitting in my car. The car that was broken and not working. So I found the garlic bread. I'm like, you know what? It's food. I need to eat. I had a couple pieces. Didn't work. Didn't work. It made, yet again, another problem worse.
Oh, mate.
That entire day was fucked too. I remember picking yous up with Caden, Zane, and Summer, and I had it was not good.
It was very funny.
Not good.
Biggest
Yeah.
bra moment in Sydney was just that car. Just that car.
Anytime, this is the thing that I've come to learn. Anytime that there is like a big gig or there is like a day with an event, nothing
Don't
you
buy a
plan.
Commodore.
No,
Don't
nothing
buy a
you.
Commodore. Full stop.
Don't buy a Commodore. We all drive,
If you have
but
a big
don't buy a
gig and a
Commodore.
big day coming up and a long drive, don't buy a Commodore. That's all you gotta do.
Anything that you plan is gonna fucking fall through. So just don't plan anything. Make it work somehow.
Just do something else. Just don't do that thing.
Don't do that
That
thing that was
involves-
gonna get you there.
You're gonna get there. Yeah.
We all
Oh,
drive,
mate.
but that doesn't mean you should.
We all drive, but don't. We all drive, but don't drive the Commodore. Full
Don't
stop.
drive a Commodore.
We all drive everything but Commodores.
We all drive. Full stop there. Just we all drive.
That's it.
Hi there. This week's episode of the podcast is brought to you by you guys supporting us through merch. We've partnered with the merch desk, and if you head over to slalty.com, we have 3 gorgeous designs on high quality, pristine shirts that you can get for the low price of $35. That's low. That's low. Have you ever seen that? Have you seen Gucci? Have you seen Prada? Have you seen Alpha Lauren? What I'm trying to get across is Slalt Cast merch is high quality. All the proceeds of the merchandise go directly into making this podcast better. Like at the moment, us building our set and getting microphones for everybody to hopefully make this podcast just that little bit, and I mean like a lot of bit better. So if you head over to slalty.com, that is SLALTY.com today, you can pick up your own merch. That is slalty.com. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the podcast. So boys, I have a question. I have a gripping question.
Ripping question.
Is it a genuine question?
No, it's a gripping question. Did you not hear?
Like Gorilla Grip?
Gorilla grip. Tarzan
Yeah.
grip, mate.
Like macaroni in a pot.
It's a wet ass pussy. So my question is, what is the best standard fast food burger?
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay, hold on.
What are we limited
I'm-
to? Are we limited to it
I'm
in Australia?
a fat man, so I've experienced a lot of burger.
Alright.
When you say standard, what do you mean? I'm assuming
Alright.
like no Big Mac.
Okay, but this is what I wanted to ask. All right,
Alright.
is the McDonald's default burger the single, double, triple burger, or is it the Big Mac?
The default burger at Macca's, I'd say, is like a quarter pounder.
I was about to
Yeah.
say, it's the
Oh,
quarter
really?
pounder.
Every,
Oh,
every
wow.
time Tom and I have like when we started out, we always went to Macca's and we always got like a quarter pounder meal.
A Royale with cheese.
Sorry, I was about to
you know
say
in
that, Caden.
France, they don't call
Yeah, we
it a
always-
quarter
we always-
pounder because they don't have a
cheese.
metric system. What do they
We
call
always
it?
got a quarter pounder meal. You got a Coke. I got a chalky milk. I got no pickles or onions, and you got some other random shit.
You don't get pickles or onions on your
What
burger.
the heck?
No,
Oh, he
I-
comes to work and he orders a chicken burger. We chef him up this absolute beautiful thing. It's like
It's
You know,
beautiful. I just
it's a
can't eat
milk-
the coleslaw.
it's a milk bun with aioli,
Oh.
crispy fried chicken,
Oh,
coleslaw with amazing coleslaw dressing, and this
Oh.
man just gets chicken and aioli on a bun
come on, Joel. Come on, Joel.
get chips on the side.
with like
Yeah.
a pinch
No,
of
it's not
chips
the
on the
same.
side.
Okay,
And
so to
every
answer your
time-
question, it's quarter pounder.
Quarter
Yeah,
pounder.
the quarter pounder, full stop. And every time,
Really?
That's the Macca's
Alright.
standard.
I reckon,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the Macca's standard out of every fast food joint, though.
Are we
Carl's-
talking,
Okay, but
are we
so
talking
we
in
can-
Australia or are we going out to
Yeah,
like...
yeah. National chain. If
Okay.
it exists in Australia.
Well, so like if you're putting like a quarter pounder up against like a fucking zinger burger, is that what you're saying? Because a zinger burger is gonna win any day of the week in that scenario.
But,
Okay.
Have you tried Carl's Jr. though, bro?
exactly.
There is a Carl's Jr. up there. I've seen
There's
one.
a
I haven't
Carl's
been
Jr.
there.
by
though.
us.
Do you guys? I was gonna say that's an American chain, but goddamn, you guys got one.
We got
Yeah,
one.
there's a
Yeah,
couple
yeah.
up there.
We
Yeah.
got like 3.
It's
It's
I'm
fucking,
gonna have
like-
to come up.
it's
it's
fucking
like-
good.
It's bougie Hungry
It's-
Jacks.
It is.
Fucking
It's like
oath.
it's like
And Hungry
grilled
Jack's is
wannabe brother.
bougie fucking McDonald's.
The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's. So.
The burgers are better at Hungry
Full
Jack's.
stop. It is.
Because my answer is the Bondi Burger at a Porto.
Oh yeah.
It is goaded. It is goaded. But
Right?
I'd
That
still pick a
burger's pretty
zinger
good.
burger over a Bondi
You'd still
burger.
pick a zinger.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't
I
go
hate
wrong
to-
with like a $12 Zinger box meal. Wicked
Oh,
wings.
that is the optimal fast food.
Zinger burger.
Fuck.
I think the packaging of the Zinger box is like the most underwhelming packaging. It comes in the box, which is fair, but you open the box and it's too big of a box,
You
right?
have to play
I
devil's
think it's the
advocate all
perfect
the
size
time.
of the box. Okay, Kobe, hang on. Are you getting a large zinger box or a regular zinger box?
I'm getting a regular Zinger
Oh,
box.
that's
There's
the
your-
What
problem.
do you mean then? Then it's I'd say it's perfectly packaged. When you get a large, they put the chips outside. But when you got the chips, the burger, your
No.
potato and gravy, and your
No,
wings
there-
in there,
there's-
it's the
there's-
perfect size.
There's too much white space in there. it's like the YouTube landing page. It doesn't look good. Bit of
Bruh,
jab there.
I'd have to say, in all seriousness, the Big Jack.
the big
Now
Jack.
that takes the
I haven't
cake.
tried a Big Jack yet.
Really?
I
Would you like to
refuse
tell the
because of
kids
the
at home?
advertising.
You'll change your mind about how you think about burgers because the Big Mac is a great fucking burger, right? You can't go wrong with a Big Mac. But imagine a Big Mac, but with Hungry Jack's burgers.
I was gonna say Big Mac,
Oh.
but it's a Whopper.
Yeah.
Big
That
Mac,
sounds fucking god
But it's
tier.
got Hungry Jack's patties, so it's automatically better.
I mean, it's a Big Mac,
guess.
but then Hungry Jack's does it, and it's just like,
But then-
oh my god.
And then it's better because the burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
And we're
Right.
also getting off topic because that's not a main chain. Like that's not their main burger. You know?
So if
What
we're
is-
talking about Hungry Jacks, we'd have to be saying the Whopper.
Yeah,
then.
we'd have to be
Whopper.
talking about the
Okay.
Whoppers.
Okay.
The Whopper's better than a quarter pounder. I'll say it. I'm
Yeah,
bringing it
yeah.
up.
I'd
yeah,
say
it
a Whopper's
is.
better. so,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I'd go Whopper. I mean, the burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
yeah. The burgers are
Nah.
better. at
Have you guys tried the Impossible Whopper?
Yeah, I have.
No.
Oh, is that the vegan
Fantastic.
one?
Yeah, it's the
Mm.
it's the
The plant-based.
They're
yeah.
fucking
It's
good.
fantastic.
Summer gets them all the time, and I'm jealous.
Why are you jealous?
You know you're allowed to eat
get
them.
it.
You can eat it, yeah.
But
There's no law stopping you from
You have
getting
to have
it.
a vegan card to get it. Caden's vegan. What is it? Caden's
I
vegan.
gotta go to
card's been
Vegan
revoked.
Academy. I
You gotta go to Vegan Academy.
It's like Scott Pilgrim.
That's the reference. Thank
That's
you.
it, mate. That's it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. See how good I am with my references.
There's
You were
wait,
once vegan, but
Along-
then now you will be gone.
along the
You,
lines
you
of Scott
fucked it,
Pilgrim.
Joe.
Along the lines of Scott Pilgrim, Michael Cera has tastier licks than Joel
Oh.
in
Oof.
Sex Bob-omb.
Oofed.
Well, okay, I hope you enjoyed your time being in wheel drive, you absolute
Oh.
but
Well, seeing as though Tom is now officially out of wheel drive.
Kobe, you want to be the new drummer?
Wait, what?
Tom is now. I will not confirm or deny that. Tom is out of wheel drive. You know what that means?
What does that mean?
This is the segment Dan likes to call talking about aeons.
Do I like to
Oh.
call it that? Have we done this segment?
Do you like talking about? Like, is that what you call it?
Talk,
we-
what would you rather us
have,
call it?
we have talked about Aeons, but I didn't know we had a segment. That's
well,
cool.
it's
What?
a exclusive to this episode.
What is that?
Wow.
I don't know.
Caden.
That's a fantastic question.
Yeah, Joel,
Oh.
Tom, Joel, Tom.
Well,
Tom.
Caden's poorly
Caden.
explained it previously, so Tom,
Yes.
do you want to have a crack?
So Aeons is a little side project that Caden, Logan, Zane, and I whipped up together during amongst all this like COVID crap. So like in Burleigh, we usually jam at a place called Wirram Studios, which is like this awesome warehouse in the industrial estate owned by absolute legends. And yeah, we were just like, they knew that I had gear and equipment, and I had ideas and stuff like that. And one thing led to another. There was actually like a few times we were jamming on the first song for a while, just for like absolute randomness. And then from there onwards, I was kind of like, I want to make this a thing. And I was like, stuff it, let's do it. Like, you know, Kate and I were sitting on like an idea for a while, like with the first song. And then I had more ideas, and I was like, why would I let this go to waste? And just sent it about when did we start? Aeon's like what, a month or two ago? I think.
No idea.
I
I think
no
it's
idea.
close to 2 months ago.
Yeah, I
two
think
and
it
a
was like
half
2
I
months
think.
ago. Yeah, that's when it was like official, but we were jamming for like months and months beforehand, but it was only kind of like
Yeah.
just dicking around, and then the ideas came along. Like we've got plenty of songs and stuff like that now. But yeah, it was kind of just like us just jamming just for the sake of jamming, and then I just kind of made the decision like, why don't we just make this a thing? Because, you know, that's what we want to do. We want to pursue music, so like, why don't we do more music, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
And that was it. And like, I think it was halfway through the year, 2 months ago. I'm just gonna say. I think it all just started 2 months ago. Just full stop there.
Yeah.
And Caden was like, pitched the idea to Brandon about playing at Vinny's Dive when everyone was gonna come up after Sydney. And I was like, oh shit. And Caden's like, all right, let's get shit into gear and like get this thing going, you know, just to play more shows and have more fun and do stuff that you want to do. And I was like, sweet, let's do it. And then obviously COVID happened, pulled it off for a while. And we still jammed on like IDs, and then the opportunity arose to play at Most Desert for our debut show. And there onwards, Aeons was born. And that's it. It's not a really great story, but it was just like, you know, just a couple of guys jamming in a shed, and out popped Aeons. That's
9
it.
months later, the couple boys went to a shed.
Look,
9 months later, there was a baby.
They walked
Nobody
into
knows
the
how they
shed
got
socks
there.
on. They walked out socks off.
Yeah.
Four guys went into a shed in the industrial estate. 9 months later, Aeons.
Yeah, aeons.
I don't even.
So sorry, go on.
You go. You're all good.
I was gonna ask a question.
No, go for
If
it.
Oh,
you've
what
got
is your
something to
question?
tack
Or your
on.
fucking question?
Ask
What is
away,
the
mate.
question?
Okay, I was gonna say this is a question to all of you, because all of us except for Dan have some semblance of musical talent.
I have no musical talent.
No, Dan doesn't. He made a jingle and then lost the jingle.
I didn't make that. I found a royalty-free beat online.
Same
NCS
thing.
beats.
You're basically Kenny Beats.
Basically.
What's the question, Kobe?
So it's what spurred. Yes.
Spurred?
Your yes. Spurred.
No, I think sperm.
sperm. What spermed your what
Oh.
spurred your passion to pursue music as a career?
Who wants
And that's
to
a
go
question
first?
for all of you.
I've got a really good
My-
story.
You go,
Guitar
bro.
Hero World Tour was mine.
Man.
I'm not even kidding. Like,
Yes.
I remember
King.
like dad moved to Sydney for work, and every time he used to go to his place, he bought a Wii, and he had Guitar Hero World Tour with like the drums and the guitar and the microphone and crap, and that was I was like what I think 11, and that was the first time I actually got into music, and I was like, oh, this is pretty sick, like playing drums like an absolute mad lad in my bedroom, getting sweaty on Guitar Hero, and I just was like, why don't I just do this on the real thing? And then onwards, I just decided to play drums. And actually, no, I was playing drums for a bit, and then I went to DJing for a while.
Oh
I
yeah.
was an absolute little mad lad of a DJ. In my room, pumping beats, 128 BPM going off. Trying to be Vici of the time, who was like going off. And then, trying to be a producer, FL Studio, stolen off Pirate Bay, giving me viruses and everything. And then, like, I don't know, I just moved on to like playing actual instrument like drums in high school with Joel. And that was pretty much it. I was like, I enjoy doing this. This is lots of fun. I'm going to continue doing this and make a career out of it. And that's it for me.
I'm similar. My cousin had a rock band set,
Oh, yeah?
and he was on the drums. He was on the guitar, and I was on the drums, and like we'd just jam out in our nan's living room playing Guitar Hero and Rock Band. It was mad.
I know, right? It's crazy how like something like that, can spark that interest in like a game way.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen the interview of like Post Malone. He's like, he played Guitar Hero and was like, why don't I just do the real thing? Because he
I swear,
liked
I
it.
feel like everyone at our kind of like age onwards kind of picks up their interest in like any kind of music form through those games. Because that's
Yeah.
kind of what happened with me. I was
Yeah.
much the same. Although I was always kind of obsessed with music, and Guitar Hero just kind of solidified it.
Yeah.
But it was more like I was always obsessed with music, and then I got hooked into Guitar Hero, and I was like, fuck yeah, I want to learn how to play real guitar. And I was always on and off guitar. And then it wasn't until I kind of moved up to Kingscliff to where I didn't have any friends, I didn't have anything to do, I didn't surf, I didn't skate, was bored all the fucking time. I was like, well, let me just pick this guitar up again and start learning. And then it kind of just stuck.
Yeah. It's pretty whack like that. I was going to say something, but I bloody forgot. Oh, I actually used to hate music as a kid. Like, I absolutely hated it. Like, I never wanted to listen to it. The only thing I would want to listen to is Gwen Stefani, and that was it. Like,
Nice.
bloody dad would play AC/DC and all the old rock bands, like Aussie rock bands, and I would just hate it and scream my head off. And so it's so odd now, like, thinking of me as a kid, hating music so much, and now here I am, like, in two bands. Obsessed with it. Like, it's whack.
What's your story, Joe?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to trace it back to 2011. Well, first of all, my family is hugely music based. Like, my dad was a drummer in one band, my uncle a bass player in another, and we all pretty much just grew up on like Electric Light Orchestra and Cold Chisel, especially. Like, my cousin was obsessed with Frog Stomp by Silverchair. And
That is a
it
great
definitely
album.
It was a fucking kick-ass album. But I didn't really get into music until my early teens, because around that point I just heard Joker and the Thief by Wolfmother, and I think it was like around Christmas time, and all the family was down, but they all headed out, so it was just me at home. So what I did, I pretty much just grabbed an acoustic guitar, I plugged it into like one of the old guitar amps that we had in the house, turned the distortion up to max, and it just made the worst noise possible to man. And I was like, fuck
This
yes.
is sick.
This is sick. I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Feedback. Squealing.
Feedback.
I like this noise.
Loud equal funny.
Feedback.
But I didn't really get into bass until
High school. I reckon high school.
yeah,
you picked
high
up
school.
bass.
Yeah, I made that transition when I got introduced to Queens and Highly Suspect and Royal Blood especially.
Nah, Muse was your shit in high school, Joel.
Muse was my shit in high
Blasting
school. Holy
Psycho,
shit.
mate. That Drones album was like your shit.
That is my favorite album. It's like one
Yeah?
of my favorite albums.
What's everyone's favorite album here? Like, do you have a favorite album?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. There's not one in particular. It changes quite often.
Yeah, it's pretty hard, eh?
I'd probably, but like my cop out answer would probably be like, I would say the White Album by the Beatles,
Oh yeah.
God
But-
tier.
more so at the moment. It would probably be Nonagon Infinity by fucking,
Ooh, that's a good
By,
album. King Gizzard and the
just-
Lizard Wizard.
yeah, King Gears.
Oh
that-
mate.
I have no fucking kidding. I have not stopped listening to them for like the past 2 months.
Yeah, that's been me with like their Infest the Rat's Nest album. That's like really
Oh yeah,
that's really sparked a lot of like creativity.
yeah, and it's like I've been listening to a variety of music my entire life. I don't stick down. I mean, I've got one genre I keep close to my heart. Sorry, I bumped my mic, but I've never like kept to one thing,
Mm.
and that's what the appeal to me in like that. Well, the entire group as a whole, like the entire project of King Gizzard.
Yeah. It's
know?
insane. Like they always have something new and it's always something
Mm.
different. And like, you know, they have the opportunity to use like microtonal guitars and stuff like that. So the sound is always just
Yeah.
different. It's whack.
Always gonna
I'm
feel
looking to
fresh.
getting one. I want to
Mm,
get on my
very
guitar
fresh.
neck. It's
Be so
I'm
fun.
looking for it. I'm
Yeah.
looking for it.
It'd be so fun to play with.
What's your
Yeah.
favorite album, Caden?
I always jump around because I always have different moods. I normally always go back to Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd.
Ooh.
I'm never going to get tired of that album just because it's always going to hold so many memories.
Yeah.
But fucking Mr. Mr. Asylum by
Yeah.
Highly Suspect's always going to be a favorite because that sparked a lot of my fucking creativity and interests. Like, that's kind of what kicked me in the ass. Or Songs for the Deaf by Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah.
They're my big three because I'll always jump between them. Like, I'm obsessed with this one. I'm obsessed with this one. I'm obsessed with this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about yours, Jolly boy?
Well, I did have that Muse phase in high school,
Yeah.
but I kind of left it behind me at the moment. So I don't know. I've got a couple actually. There's this one particular album that Slash did with the lead singer from Alter Bridge. His name is
Oh, yeah.
Miles Kennedy,
Miles
and
Kennedy, yeah.
they did World on Fire. That is a banger of an album. I highly recommend you listen to it because all the songs on there, they're just actual genuine music, in my opinion. But I also go to what's it called? Demon Days by Gorillaz.
Hey,
That is a
Oh, yeah.
fucking god tier album.
That is a great album. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I go back and forth between High Visceral Part 1 by the Pawn Crumpets
Yeah.
and Like Clockwork by Queens. So I got a few,
I keep
a couple of
forgetting
tasty
how
favorites.
good that bloody album is. Like Clockwork is.
Like Clockwork, yeah.
yeah.
great track.
It is
It's-
such a
yeah.
great album.
It's definitely a band favorite.
Yeah, definitely.
What about you, Dan and Cole?
Well, I mean, my opinion is not really doesn't have as much weight here because I'm not really musically talented. But
But
I
I think
always
it's an
go-
interesting kind of point of view because
Well-
someone who's not
Yeah.
in the music scene can still have a good opinion of music.
Exactly.
I don't know. So I'll say, well, I'll go back to like By the Way by the Chili Peppers or
Nice,
the Blue
nice.
Album by Weezer and stuff.
Fuck yeah, love.
I
me
don't just
boys.
listen. I listen to other shit. Fucking Flume, the self-titled
Ooh,
album, is
yeah.
a banger. Love that. And then of course, fucking York Boys' music. It's always in the playlist these days.
King.
Dog.
Nice,
Hop
nice.
off.
Way to kiss ass.
I mean, mate, you've got to.
Very nice.
But yeah, nah. Now, Tom, everyone else has shared. What about you, mate?
King is
Well-
the end.
No, I think the album that sparked music interest for me definitely was Avicii's True album. Because that's when like I really got into music. I got super invested into like DJing and like wanting to make electronic music. So Avicii's True album was like the one that kind of set it off. And like I remember like Avicii was the first time I saw like live music. I don't know, well, not really live. I mean, they press play, but like an artist live, like that I aspired to be. So like, sorry, my thing just cocked it. Yeah, that album was my biggest one, and then now like that really helps drive my taste of music and style would have to be definitely Psychedelic Porn Crumpets. Like they are a massive hit for me. Their album would be probably their High Visceral 2 or their High Visceral B-Sides album is like one of my 2 top favorites of theirs. But there's like three albums that really captured like the sound that I was going for. Was Slift album, which was like, bruh. As soon as I heard it, I was like, that's the sound I'm going for. Psychedelic Porn Crumpets, and actually church music was another big thing for me. Because I had this really weird phase that I went to church and stuff like that. But the sound of like, it's very progressive and triumphant sounding. So it has a really big sound to it. That was a big thing for me. So actually, Hillsong United's Empire's album was a really big one for me. Just because of how like triumphant sounding it was. I just massive drums and pads and massive bass lines and everything like that. It was just, I don't know. It's really odd because like I hated music as a kid, so nothing really got me until like I was 12, 13. Like Skrillex's Bangarang and Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites album and everything. Just
fucking classic. Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites was the soundtrack of like 2012.
Literally, like that's where I started to pick up music was when Skrillex was going around, and I was like, oh, what's this like, digital computers smashing each other in the head like music. I don't know. That's where I kind of picked up. So like,
fuck yeah.
I don't know.
Speaking of Catholic music, Tom, have I ever told you about the time I tried to pull a blast beat during our school song?
No.
For our, I think it was year 12 maths.
No, what?
Fuck yeah.
Fucking
blast beat.
So yeah, so I was in the school band for mass when we'd have a school mass.
Was that a Catholic school, by the way? For those,
yeah, we went to a Catholic school. And one of the teacher up there, he's in his own band. It's called Underground Architect.
Nice.
He's an absolute mad lad.
Fuck yeah.
It was him and one of the music teachers who was conducting the girls, the choir.
Yeah. And
he was playing bass with a couple others. They were playing guitar and I was on the drums.
Mm.
And this is our year 12 mass. This is like the last one, the last school mass that we have. And then he turns to me like as we're ending and he goes, think you could pull a blast beat on the school song, on the last song? And I'm like, maybe. So school song, we're playing it. I could play it for you now, but I'm not going to because I couldn't be bothered.
Oh, surely you can.
Nah, hey Dan, am I
on,
allowed to?
Come on.
Just a cheeky little bit of the school song.
Oh, well,
Just
if
a
you
little bit.
insist.
Come
Picks
on.
up guitar directly next to him.
I'm not
I wasn't
prepared.
prepared.
I'm not
You're
prepared,
not prepared
at
at
all.
all. No. Do you want me to get on the drums too? I can. They're right here.
What is it? Monday night, your neighbor just hears Christina Aguilera and blast beats.
Yeah, sorry, it's not into. Oh, that's not right.
This is the entire podcast, everyone.
Yep,
This is just
yep.
Kobe tuning his guitar for an hour.
Thank you. I don't want to get a tuner up. All right. No, line up.
Kobe, I don't want to put any pressure on you.
Through the spirit we come to be. Through the spirit we live. Right, that's the tempo of the song. That's the goal of the song.
Okay.
And then the last part is like this: to the flame, to the flame. And then I'm like, here's my chance. It's the last part of the song. I need to go all out. So I turn to the teacher. He looks at me and he's nodding, and I'm like, yeah, to the. It was a really bad one. It was a really bad one. The only person that caught it out was Joseph, who's a metalhead himself.
Nice.
So he knew what I was up to. But it was mad and got no praise.
No. Oh, what? No praise?
Yeah, no praise.
That is.
Well, you're getting some now.
absolutely
Good job,
terrible.
Kobe.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
3 years later.
Thank you, Kobe, for your
3
blast
years
beat during the last. I was about to say Kingscliff High School song.
Thank you.
You deserve all the praise for your blast beats, bro.
Thank you, man.
Especially if you're trying to jump
Can't-
all of Non-God Infinity and everything like that, bruh.
That's hard. It's hard. You ever tried it? You ever had eggs? Fuck, it's
Fuck,
hard.
they're sick, man.
Fuck, they're sick, man.
Fuck this.
Now, guys, are you guys ready for a fucking transition, boys?
Yeah.
It is.
Here we go. I've been cooking this one up.
It
Okay.
is.
Ready? Hey, this podcast is in a real state of emergency, wouldn't you guys say?
Oh. It's because Caden spent 20 minutes talking about a car.
Oh, man.
Nice.
No, you boys had a cheeky song drop just over a week ago.
Yes.
Yes, we did.
I noticed
was
that.
wonderful.
Do you want to do a bit of promotion?
State of Emergency is about how fat, stupid, and ugly Scott Morrison and Trump are in bed. You can find it on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Music now.
And it is a fucking banger. So
Thanks, man.
I'm be comparing the plays on Spotify State of Emergency to the downloads of this episode. And if it isn't a 1-to-1 thing, I'm gonna be contacting all of your mothers and making sure that you're properly disciplined.
Bruh, I'm so keen for like the music that Wheel Drive and Varum are going to release like in the next, couple of months or so. Been working on some
Yeah.
really solid stuff.
I just want to finish my fucking EP. I want to get it out.
Yeah, right? Far out.
Need to be able to play gigs.
Fucking, I just want Lansdowne to happen.
I do
Fuck.
want Lansdowne to happen.
Yeah,
too.
that's it.
Lansdowne will happen.
Lansdowne's going to
Lansdowne
happen.
will.
It will
I
happen.
have a dream. Lansdowne will happen.
If it doesn't happen, I'm driving up there and we're doing it up there.
Well, I mean,
Definitely.
depending on how things go, we'll probably come down to Sydney anyway if it doesn't.
Yeah. Surely,
Okay, fair enough.
surely we send to Mo's Desert Clubhouse. Oh, no, let's do Vinny's Dive again.
Oh,
Get all the Sydney, like what we did with Sydney before. It was like, played Sydney and then we all came up here and did
Yeah.
Vinny's Dive. Surely we can do that again.
looking
Get
looking at
south-
January.
Get southbound up here
January.
again. I mean, get southbound up here for the first time.
Yeah, looking at January. That's what, because I've got family up there. So
Ooh. Oh, you do? Because
Ooh.
because he
Yeah.
came to Frank Carter with us.
yeah.
Oh,
and
mate.
a Frank Charter.
That was fun.
That was a
was.
lot of fun. I want to see him again. It was great.
It was
Good man.
high
was.
energy, high octane.
High octane. It was insane in the
Good old fashioned family fun.
Yeah, it was. You know,
Yeah, it
got
was
hit in the chest.
Fuck.
Sorry, are you okay there?
My bad.
Do you need?
I'm
do you
just.
need help?
I'm still trying to fucking understand how to use this phone.
Are you?
What do you mean?
Oh, he's playing with ringtones.
No, I'm not playing with ringtones. I'm trying to not press shit and mute stuff, and it still comes up somehow.
Okay.
Shaking my
Nice.
head.
All right. Thank you, Caden. It's not like we've been doing this podcast for 23 weeks,
I apologize.
which is don't tell me it's 6 months
Fuck, has it been-
Yeah, about that.
about.
Yeah,
almost.
about that.
Fucking
Almost.
hell.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, we've been doing this a while. It's a shame it still sucks.
Oh, what are you on about? It's
Nah,
great.
Damn.
Tommy and I will give you the clout.
All
Oh,
right.
fucking oath.
Easy. All right. So, good question. We need a good question. The
Genuine
audience,
question?
audience member. I'm chucking it to the audience. Dan,
I'm the audience. Okay, I got it. Okay. Hi, I'm the audience.
Hi. What's your
Hi,
name?
the audience.
Jonathan for short.
Jonathan for short. Jonathan for short. How big of a fan are you of these boys?
Pretty huge.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So what's your question for Wheel Drive and the rest of us?
In the song King's Cliff, what do you mean by that? I don't know. I have no question. I wasn't prepared for this.
What-
Oh god, fucking damn it!
What do you mean by?
said-
That's pretty much all it means. Just riffage.
What do you mean by Kingscliff Show? What's the purpose behind Kingscliff?
I wrote it as a tribute to fucking everyone that came into contact with it. That dumbass school. But like, no,
Relatable.
I
Very
want to
relatable.
know, Caden, what is the meaning behind hurricane?
The meaning behind hurricane.
I
Yeah.
have been interested.
What is
about
the
that,
meaning
actually.
behind that song?
Who is the boy you're speaking of?
Yeah.
Speaking about my mate Zane.
Oh, that's cute.
Aw.
Ah.
I won't put him on blast too much because I'm sure I have plenty of times. But it was a song I'd written 2 years ago, a long fucking time ago, when he was struggling with some stuff and having some internal issues, and his way of dealing with them was very external and kind of just nonchalantly caring about him, and was slowly ruining not only his own mental state but people around him. And it was kind of just, it was a very destructive mentality.
Damn. You could almost say it was like a hurricane.
It was like a hurricane. It was, you had a
Two
boy
weather
who
systems
was
collide.
super passionate and had so much talent and was really striving to be something and someone, but just was pulling himself back by trying to hold expectations for other people and stuff like that.
Mad. So I've got 2 more questions to close it out. Would you like the short question or the first question? The long question first.
Would you like the short question
short
or
one
the
or the
first
Would you like
first
the
one?
short question or the
first
short
one?
question?
It's been a long day, boys.
Kobe, you decide.
You
All right,
decide, bro.
I'll ask the short one.
You are the ringleader.
Okay. So you guys, what's your favorite song that you have made?
Or
It can be released or unreleased.
Caden, go first.
Okay, go first.
It's a good fucking question.
Hey, there it is. I'm a good question asker.
I think I'm always going to hold a special place for Placebo.
I was about to say there's the correct answer here, Caden, and you've... Actually, I don't know your unreleased music, but Placebo is a fucking banger.
I'm always going to hold a
Love
special
that
place for Placebo just because it was the first song I ever properly wrote, and it still holds true to today as a song that you can still use to get you going, get you moving.
I'll never forget at the Brass Monkey how fucking much that went
moist.
off.
Dugan,
We were
bro, on
moist.
stage.
That was a moist front row.
Dugan was on another planet when he went on stage. He
Ah,
was on another planet.
I love those videos. That song's always going to hold a special place in my heart. I think I'm always going to have a fan favorite with that one. But if I had to pick anything else, it would be... I'm loving Demons at the moment. Demons or Healing, they're my 2 favorite at the moment.
Oh,
Healing
I
is a
love
banger.
Healing. Healing is
I
beautiful.
cried to Healing.
Healing is a good song. They're 2 songs that are on our EP that we wrote recently through all this stuff, and they're a lot of fun. They Demons is a very fast paced song again, so it gets you moving, but it shows a lot of dynamic range, and it's always fun to play. And Healing's just got a lot of power in it, and when you hit it, it just feels good.
Get goosebumps when you listen to it.
Nice. What about you 2 boys?
I can answer Tom's question. You're obviously a big fan of Men in Black and Gawain Street.
I'll answer my question.
Men in Black and Gawain Street. That's obviously.
No.
Oh,
No.
tension.
No.
Oh, how are we going to resolve this?
All right, Tom, you're out
Joel,
of the band.
what is...
Kobe,
What is,
would you like to join?
No,
Nah,
Tom.
Joel, what's your favourite songs that you've done or haven't released or whatever?
Well, Kingscliff is definitely one of the most personal songs I've ever written. And it's the one I've definitely put the most amount of time into production-wise. And it's probably one that's come out sounding pretty good. I do love Dead Weight. There's this one song that we did called Brother of Mine, which, I don't know how to describe it. It's more personal than Kingscliff in a way. I guess you'll probably figure that out when we eventually release it.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song to play, Tom?
My favourite song is definitely Kingscliff because it was the first one that we ever wrote that I was so chuffed and excited to play, and it will always play like Placebo to you. It has a special place in my heart.
It's always gonna hold a memory, no matter how good or
It's
bad the song is. You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
I remember writing it, and I mean, well, not writing it, playing the drums for it or whatever. I guess that's writing.
Yeah.
In the studio, just getting really excited for it, and in the studio and getting hyped up, holy crap, we're about to release music, and I'm a part of it. That was Kingscliff to me. My favorite unreleased song would be Man in Black, which is one of my favorites, just phenomenal. And my favorite song for Aeons
Oh.
would be definitely the first song because it was the first. You guys haven't heard it, but like I'm so keen for like I'm so keen.
Can't wait to hear it.
Oh mate,
I have listened to the stories that you put on, so I basically know the entire
yeah,
song.
I have the first song which is like pretty personal, and then the second song is called One by Aeons, which is very personal as well. And I don't know. Those are my two. Like those are my favorite songs.
I think all of our songs are
Okay.
personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's what's your favorite song, Kobe?
It's probably the same with yours. It's probably Bamboo, which you it's unreleased. We have no songs released.
Speaking
but
of,
it's
I
the
actually
one.
listened to your demos today. Top-notch quality,
Thank you.
by the way.
Oh,
Thank you
what?
very
I want to
much.
hear the demos.
They've got it
Well,
on
you can
Hey,
go
Bandcamp.
Kobe,
to southbound78.bandcamp.com.
And that'll
Go
be in the
support
description
boys.
if Kobe reminds me.
Yes. Hey Dan, put it in the description.
You're gonna have to remind me on Wednesday.
Yeah. Nah, but it's probably that. Just because I remember Caden showed me the initial riff.
Oh, I think I remember that
yeah.
one from Sydney.
Yeah, it's the last song we play.
Yeah.
And I remember we hung out that day, and then I dropped Caden off because I think I had work that afternoon, and we were jamming that morning. Caden and I, sorry, went back home, and then my guitar was still in the garage, plugged into the amp, and I'm like, where could this song go? And it just sort of like was the first time I did something extremely creative with an instrument that I didn't think I was too good at,
Yeah.
and made something really work.
Yeah.
And then when I brought it to Boma and Jeremy, and we jammed on it, it just like came naturally, and
Yeah.
I feel like the best songs are the ones that aren't thought about too hard enough.
Yeah.
No.
That's like a lot of the songs like that Caden and I and Zane Logan have written kind of just came naturally.
Mm.
Like the first one, definitely. Like I had two ideas, didn't know what to do with them. Came, I was like, put them together. Let's
Yeah.
just like play it, and it came together so well. And now it's like definitely a favorite.
Mm.
And the second
Yeah.
song as
'Cause-
well, just kind of like came together as well because I had this little jingle that I was stuck on. Then it just kind of happened.
Yeah, and it's that thing of like when you don't remember how it was, like how it came to be, it kind of like just it makes it more memorable because it's
Yeah.
fresh in your mind every time you hear it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. Anyway, boys, I'll ask the long question another time, maybe.
Yeah, so we've reached our time
Yeah.
limit,
Oh.
perhaps.
I'm
Cheers
so
for coming
sorry.
out and joining us today, boys. This has been a fantastic episode.
Maybe if Caden didn't spend 20 minutes talking about a car.
I
I think
It's all good.
Yeah.
It's no problem.
it's all right.
So
I
if-
hope
It
to
is
have you on
true,
again.
though.
It's a special episode. Why don't you just do a long one?
It
It
is.
is a special
It is.
episode.
It is.
If the people wanted to find you, Joel, where could people find you on social media?
We're on Facebook, Instagram, and surprisingly Twitter at wheeldriveband.com. Wait,
And do you have a
Dot com.
personal Insta you want to plug at all? Or
State of Emergency is out now. You also have merch on the merch desk.
Oh, yeah, that'll be in the description.
Yeah.
It always is.
It
If you
always
go to
is.
slalty.com and then you click a couple times, you can get to Wheel Drive's merch.
Yes.
Yep, just skim
I was-
past the very merch.
Oh, we're here
Oh.
to support each other, Jolie boy.
Boys support boys, Joel.
You're not here.
Tom,
There's
do you have
sarcasm
anything
in
you
my
want to
voice.
promote?
Definitely promote Wheel Drive's new song, State of Emergency. Absolute banger. Drum sound freaking huge.
yeah.
Follow us on our socials, of course. Merch is available. And follow at Aeons Band on Instagram.
That's it.
Definitely,
100%.
because there's exciting things happening there. And hopefully we'll have a live recording out on Spotify in the next couple of months or so.
Ooh,
Fucking oath.
spicy.
Yeah, see what happens with that.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Caden, where can the kids find you?
You can follow my band. Verum.band at
On Instagram. There you go.
Instagram.com.
Caden,
Yeah.
one day you'll be able to get that
You'll
right.
do it. You'll do it one day. So Dan,
At Instagram.
Kobe, what about you? Where can the kids
I
find
was going to
you?
ask you first.
Yeah, well, I've undercut you. Kobe, where can the kids find you?
I will run this podcast into the ground.
You're trying-
Dan, where can they find you, Dan?
Well, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DanielF737. While we're here, make sure you go follow the Slalt Cast on Twitter and Instagram at Slalt Cast, and go fucking follow the stream. Big things happening on the stream. That seems to be
Yes.
where a lot of the attention is at the moment for the Slalt Cast. So that's just Slalt Cast on Twitch. It's going to be in the description. We got some new emotes coming out.
Oh,
Whenever they get approved. Hopefully they're out by the time the pod comes out.
Fuck yeah.
So be sure to get onto Twitch to check them out there.
Thomas
yeah.
from
Now-
Wheel Drive subbed, and it is definitely worth it.
Fucking oath.
Way to advertise, Tommy. Good job.
Yes. Nice.
Love your work.
Now, Kobe, where can the kids find you?
You can find me at 55Kobe55, and I'm gonna cut it there. So
So you're gonna cut yourself off
I'm gonna cut myself off
for comedy.
for comedy.
Thanks for listening. Please remember to leave a positive rating wherever you're listening from, and to follow our socials at Slalt Cast on Twitter and Instagram.